Good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Great.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes,
Welcome to this first webinar that we're having in partnership with Dev Careers. This is one of many that we'll be having, and I'm happy to have you all here. And at the same time, I hope I hope you learn one or two, and hopefully make sure that you are choosing the best career in tech. So we're having Akitunde Sultan from Dev Careers, as well as Oluwale Adebiyi, aka Mr. Flames. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much for honoring this invite.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think I'll mean. Let me start. My name is Oluwale Adebiyi. I'm a software engineer. Also I do front end most of the time, and I've worked in companies like Carrywise, Flutterwave, and Verify. So I've worked in those companies, yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you like why front end, why should you choose front end? So what is front end? Like what is front end itself? So
You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, much better.
Okay. Sorry for that. But did anybody hear what I was saying before?
Not really.
Okay.
No, but now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I think my network went off. Sorry about that. So let me start. Good day, guys. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah. So my name is Oluwale Adebi Mims, and I'm a software engineer, mostly a front-end guy. And I'm here to tell you why you should choose front-end. So basically, what is even front-end? And like, what is front-end? So front-end of a software program or website is everything with which the user interacts, things you see and things you feel. So when you visit a site, like what you see on that site is called front-end. Interacting with anything you see. So example, this is a portfolio site, and this is a fintech dashboard. So interacting with this fintech dashboard, like what you feel is like the front end, and these are built by front end developers. So why front end? The reason why I would advise you to go for front end is like there's a huge community and tools. You see a lot of that helps developers achieve being a front end. And there's a huge I don't think any business can do without a front-end developer. Someone has to build the main website, the dashboard, other things. So like, I don't think there's any business that can thrive without a front-end developer. Then the fun thing about being a front-end developer is like you really have to, like you get to push your creativity when building stuff. So who has seen the Abeg app, like the website on desktop? Anybody?
Yeah, I have.
So like if you view that site, you know like it's not the like normal it's not the normal websites you see. Like there's a lot of activity into it. So like that's the pros of being a front end dev. So if you are able to like stretch out your creativity, and that good example that I would say is like Paystack Music. That thing is really beautiful, and it was like it's a work of art. So like that's one of the good things of being a front end developer. You can stretch out your creativity, you can push your creativity. So things you have to learn to become a front-end developer, you have to learn HTML. So HTML is like is a markup language which is used to like define maybe like the title. So they're like a structure that is used to build the website. Then CSS is part of things that beautify sheets. So it's used to beautify your website. It's what makes your website attractive. Then JavaScript adds functionality to your website. So in JavaScript, you can add like complex animations and amazing animations and things like that. So another thing you need to learn, like to become a dev, is to learn a JavaScript framework. So the common JavaScript frameworks we have here is React, Vue, and Angular, and Svelte. So I think the one really popular in the market is React, basically. So those are things you need to learn as a front-end developer. So some people say that front-end is hard, probably because of CSS. Yeah, so most developers hate CSS with passion. But I won't say front-end is hard. Like it's not hard. What it does is dedication and practice. Like there's no profession that you dive in that you don't have to like practice. You don't just become um you don't just become a god overnight. Practice, constant training and things like that makes you good. Like example, you want to become a carpenter. You can't become an expert overnight. You have to keep on training. So I won't say front end is hard. It's challenging and it's fun. So yeah, that's it. So like where can you start learning front end? We have Udemy, we have the three schools, we have front end masters, then joining an amazing community. There are a lot of community too also. Um, so how do you get better being a front-end developer? So so this is from my own experience. Watch a lot of tutorials, read a lot of articles, strive to follow the architecture of the framework or library you are using. So I've seen some code base that some people just write things like how they feel it should be and not following the architecture, which is bad because you might have maintainability issues when you are working with a team. So try to follow the architecture. Example, if you're using Redux, know how to use Redux very well, know how it is being structured. If you're using Vuex for Vue, know the architecture and know how it's being structured. They never stop learning. You don't stop learning. Look for new things to learn. Don't just say, oh, I know how to do this, and just say like, I need to learn more things. So you have to keep on learning more things to get better. Then always try to be the best. Don't settle for average. If you see an amazing thing, try to achieve that thing. Like, okay, yes, I can do this. If they can do this, like I can do this also, then you try to do it. Then yes, it's still the same thing. Always try to be there. Then lastly, always believe you can do everything and try to do it. Yes. And like I think that like I try to that's one of the things that drives me. I believe that okay, yes, I can do this. Yes, I have to do this. Like nobody knows everything. Like you have to just try it out and see yes if I know it or not. So thank you guys. Any questions? Hello. I hope you guys were hearing me. Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we were hearing you and it was nice.
Okay. Thank you. Like any question, you can type it in the chat.
Hello?
Any questions? Any questions?
Yes, I have a question, please.
Yes, please.
I'd like to know, I'm currently doing HTML and CSS. Do I
Okay.
need to understand CSS with Bootstrap as a framework?
Okay, so I'll just say it from my own end. When I started learning CSS, I had a lot of like I couldn't understand some stuff. So when I discovered Bootstrap, it made things like really easy for me. Like so I learned Bootstrap and made me understand something. So it depends what helps you, what is comfortable for you. Like Bootstrap was really comfortable for me. Sometimes I use Bootstrap. Now I sometimes I use Bootstrap, sometimes I don't. So it just depends, but don't just stick to Bootstrap. Like learn how to use write CSS without Bootstrap also. From the JS library, jQuery or React, which one first?
Okay.
Someone is asking a question from the JS library, jQuery or React. I don't really get the question. Are you saying like should you learn jQuery or React first? That's Raji. And yes, you need a laptop to learn to like. Or I think some people use their mobile phone, but
Hello,
you
hello,
need to learn. Yes.
hello. Yeah, this is Raji
Hello.
on the line. This is
Okay.
Raji
Okay.
on the line. Please, my question is that which one should we choose first, as in React, JS, or jQuery? I
Okay.
think I
For
learned
me,
that both are library. They are JS library framework.
okay. What I'll tell you to learn now is I'll tell you to learn React because like jQuery is not really in use these days. So I'll tell you to learn React. So I'm coming. There are still other questions. So what kind of project should I put in my portfolio to get hired as a front-end dev at a company like Carry One? So hmm. Okay, so the way I applied to Carry was like there was a test. So like I just made sure like I didn't really have a portfolio. I won't even I don't really have a portfolio. Like I just like doing something like if a company tells me to do something, I just try to do it to my like to do it well, and if they like me then that's fine. So I was given an assessment test and I did it very well. So like that's how I think let me share it with you. I hope I'm correct. Netlify.app. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is it. Um, when do you start applying for jobs as a front-end dev? Um, okay, so just start if you feel like so I'll advise you like if you can go for internship first, like that would be fine. Like for me, I try to work in a place that will allow me like grow. Like I think the first place I worked was Google Hosts. So I didn't really care about the money. What I was really interested in was growth. And I'll say like my career actually went really well when I started at Google's because I was able to learn and do a lot of stuff basically. So what does architecture really mean? So how can I explain this? So like example now, what I mean by following architecture now is like example, if you want to build your house, you won't you have to build you have to set up a good architecture is like setting up your concretes, like setting up concretes. You won't just start mounting blocks or on the site. You have to set up concrete, and that's example of good architecture. But if you just start putting up blocks, in the future you can have termites entering your house and things like that, and which like things like that are not good. So architecture is like once you are building React, follow like the once you are building a React application, you are building a Vue application, follow the right step. Don't just scatter the application anyhow. If you are using Vuex, do it the right way. Don't just do it the way you like. Basically, that's what I'm just trying to say.
Okay, so good afternoon, James.
Good afternoon, Sultan.
So good afternoon, everybody. Or is it evening? Okay, yeah, it's still afternoon.
So good afternoon, everybody. And if you're not joining us from Nigeria, good evening or good morning. So my name is Sultan Akintele Sultan, and I'm like a small co-host for this small session. So yeah, Flames, thanks a lot. I did see your presentation and it was really great. And I love the fact that you, within that short period of time, you're able to cover quite a lot of stuff. Okay, yeah, this is Sultan, sorry. But it's still Sultan. Okay, all right. So let me just use this little opportunity to cut across all the questions that folks have been asking since also. All right, so yeah, you told us why Frontend, and yeah, it's like the whole paparazzi of the whole website and co, and the users get to see it first and they get to interact with the front end first majorly. I mean, we've been hearing issues where backend you can't drop a link to API documentation like that. So yeah, definitely that's good. So I would ask just some few questions now, and senior developer in this field, I think you could help us shed a lot of light on it also. Yeah, I saw people also asking about communities and co. I would try and drop questions all around all this stuff also. Okay, thank you. So okay, let me start with this. One last time, let's start it one last time. Please give us a very short introduction of yourself, please.
Okay, my name is Oluwole Adebiyi, also popularly known as Flames. Yeah, so popularly known as Flames. I've been a software developer for like 5 years now. Yeah, and I've worked in companies like Carrywise, Flutterwave, Verify, and Google Host. So and I'm currently a mentor at Dev Career. So yeah, that's what I do basically. Yeah, that's my
that's really nice. 5 years. Damn, that's a lot of years. Okay, so can I ask why exactly did you decide to major on front end? Yeah, I know you don't have back end also, but I mean, why did you decide that okay, let me just put more focus and energy into front end as opposed to back end? So
okay, so the reason why I decided to go into front end was I love creating experience, and like the companies I first worked with, like they didn't. I was also like I'm also a designer also, so like they didn't like applications, and they don't care if it's usable or not. So and they just decide to go with Bootstrap default theme and things like that. So I wanted to like people like once they enter the site, like they can feel the experience of the site. Like it should not just be a blank slate. A website should be an experience. So that's part of the reason why okay, fine, I want to do this front end thing, and like I enjoy doing it. I enjoy creating experience. I like creating things people love to see basically. So that's why I chose front end.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, for someone coming from a design background, you would definitely want to go with something visual. And this is one thing I've always loved to say and try and explain out there, that the part of field individuals would want to go to is directly influenced by whatever activities they like doing or whatever tech background. Now, this is not coding now. So if you happen to be someone who is a designer from the beginning, you have higher chances of deciding to shift your focus into front end. And if you're someone who probably loves, let's say, the thinking and features and probably business stuff, you might go into another field entirely, DevOps and go. All right, so thank you for that particular part. Okay, now, so I mean, if you've been in front end field for 5 years plus now, you've seen the progression of things and you've seen how hard everybody is trying to censor a div, things like that. So let me ask, in your own opinion, in your own view, what would you think, what time frame would you give, let's say, for a total beginner, what time frame would you give to move from HTML to CSS and probably, let's say, to JavaScript? Now, not even the JavaScript framework now, or even CSS framework. I mean, just give us like a run through of how long you think it's going to take, and do you think that it's something doable within that particular period? And also, you can add if it's really necessary. People like asking if it's compulsory to actually know everything in CSS before going to any CSS framework. Must I know 100% JavaScript before learning React? So just kindly shed a little light on that, please.
So basically what I'll say is like basically like is experience and like projects you work on, because I won't say it's the like number of years or number of months. So it depends on like what you work on continuously. So like if you are working on with like working with experienced people, you're intentionally building up yourself. So I think within a year and a half, like you can get really good and marketable. Then for CSS, learning CSS framework before knowing, you don't have to know like CSS completely before you start learning CSS framework. Like for me, I'll just say my experience. Like for me, I wasn't really good with CSS, like because it was hard centering. There was no flexbox, like or I didn't know about it, or it was not stable when I started doing HTML and CSS. So it was just float and it was really annoying. So when I figured out Bootstrap, I was really happy. So I switched to Bootstrap. Then later I felt that okay, fine, I can't continue using Bootstrap all the time. Then I said to like um, learn more, like get my CSS knowledge better and things like that. So that same thing for JavaScript. When I started JavaScript, like I just knew the basics, like for loop, variables, etc. Before I went to Vue. No, I think I first went to React. I learned React. Later I learned Vue. So from there I noticed that okay, my JavaScript is weak in some and review my JavaScript. Like so, it depends. Like the more things you work on, the more things you build, and like the more you challenge yourself. Like okay, fine, I want to do this. I want this to be possible. That's how you learn. But so that's I won't really say it's, like depends on the number of years or number of. It depends on number of years, yes. But when you are more intentional about learning, basically.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I'm sure a lot of people got a lot of answers from that short session. So, what he's saying is this. I mean, if Flames have worked with Cowrywise, worked with a lot of top companies in Nigeria, and you see these companies are companies that have amazing designs, and you're able to see now that he is saying, oh, even when I started, I did not know everything in JavaScript. I was not coding JavaScript 247. I knew the basics, which are of course all our for loops and code. So if he is saying that he, now at least he had the time to go back. So this is like a path line that a lot of people tend to miss. And there's always kind of misconceptions out there that, oh, before using any framework, you need to know Java 7, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's not always like that for everybody. So the fact that JavaScript is still clouding in your head does not really mean that you could not push that and actually learn a framework that actually support what you've learned before. I mean, the way Angular was built, you could write in Angular with just the normal HTML and CSS, and you of course will be doing the old JavaScript or learning TypeScript at all. So it's not, there is no one way, there's no one perfect way to actually make a career in tech and actually follow it. So no single answer for that. Okay. All right. So let me go next. I think we have this session is just an hour, but then I think I still have more questions, but let's try and push things forward. Next question I would want to ask now is about the internship and let's say moving. So at what stage do you think a beginner is qualified to say, okay, let me start looking for my first developer role, or let me even join an intern? And what would you say is the difference between a junior developer and an intern?
Okay, so I'll just share my experience basically. So when before I worked with any company, like I think I built to build a tangible projects that like okay, fine. If an employer should say that like, oh, like this is an awesome project and they want to hire you. So if you know like okay, if I have a presentable project, you can shoot your shot at companies, you can apply to companies, and companies that want to get you will get you. So between junior and intern, so for me, I'll say it depends on the company. Some company can hire you as an intern, and some company can hire you as a junior, basically. The reason why I was hired as an intern, like my first job was because like that's what my school required, because I was meant to go on internship from my school. So that's how I got an internship with Google Host. So, but I had a project. Because I built a site with PHP, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. So like that what made me enter as a developer. So I was accepted as an intern, and I did a lot of amazing stuff there, basically, yeah. And this was 2018. Yeah, 2018. Like, okay, fine, you have something presentable, just apply.
Okay. All right. So there's always a saying that if you meet 60% of a job requirement, as long as along the line, you should probably just give it a try to apply. I mean, if you feel you're not good enough for the job, the person will probably end up in the job. It's probably still not good enough also. And there's no
Exactly.
there's no 100% perfect role for anybody. So even who will end up getting those roles, the companies always make some kind of adjustments. It's either you're too good for the role or you're not really that good for the role. But then it's all about how you could grow yourself along the line. Also. Okay, all right. So somebody
confidence.
has
So I want to add one more thing. Confidence is really important. So when you're like defending yourself, like interview and they're asking you questions, you have to be confident. Okay, yes, you know this. And if you're not sure of some things, you can ask questions. Don't try to, unless if you are sure. So this is one thing about me. If I'm sure that, okay, fine, what they're asking me, like I can easily pick it up, then I'll say it. I'll say, okay, fine, I'll try to defend it. But if it's something like, if you just be confident in you and trust me, you're going to get the job, basically.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I mean, we'll probably make another session for you to give interview tips.
No problem.
All right. Somebody said you're really big on YouTube learnings and code. What particular way the person asked the question, but I think it's still the same thing. Yeah, for Frontend. So, do you have any particular YouTube channel? You could just type the name on.
Okay, so I don't have a particular YouTube channel. So, like example now, this is how I use YouTube. Okay, there's a new thing in React. Like example now, like hooks. So I just go to YouTube and just search for it. Then I find the tutorial that fits that fits what I want to learn. Then I just start learning it. So basically, I don't really follow a channel per se. I just go to YouTube and just search what I'm trying to achieve, like e.g. animation with GSAP, things like that. So I just go to YouTube, like, okay, how to achieve, like, search for it, basic. So it's not as if I follow a channel or in particular. So it's just like, okay, yes, I want to achieve this. Like, how can I achieve this? And I just go to YouTube and try to figure it out.
And this is something really amazing because right now, I think for the past couple of minutes, we've had 74 participants on Log Steady. I mean, it might look really small if it's on a virtual conference, but imagine having 74 people in a room steadily looking at you and directly learning from you. That's even bigger than one of the biggest workshops. I mean, workshops really have up to 50. People are really interested in front-end. So then you come and mentor all of us. Okay, so let's move a little forward now. If somebody asks, okay, this is a short one, you probably just have 1 minute to answer. Somebody asks that, to be a front-end developer, do I need to know UI UX? So
no, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Okay. All right. So I would want to add to that you see, UI UX itself is a field in design, or should I say it's a part relating to design, the user interface and user experience, and they're more of like a designer as opposed to developers. But then the experience part might be, and that's a little bit of developer side also. But then, I mean, it's quite easy when you have a designer focusing on the UI UX. You could always tell the developers what to do and how to make things, because it's quite large and it's quite wide. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, there's something I want to ask also. An intern and get paid, but what do you think? You're in Nigeria. What do you think is a good price for, or should I say it's a good experience in terms of pay for an intern level? And do you even know right now in front-end development? Sorry.
Okay, for internship, I don't know, like I don't really know any company at the moment, but I'll just say how much I was paid. This was 20 when I started interning. But to be honest, to be fair, I didn't really need money. So I was paid 30K per month that time. So this is me. I didn't really need money that time. So like it was Like, so I just wanted to learn. Like, I just wanted to learn new things, and so I was just interested in the knowledge basically. So for junior, to be honest, depends on the company. I won't. Some companies pay from 150 to 300 or to 2 junior role.
Okay. Alright, so there've been quite a lot of conversations about starting salaries for junior developers and even senior developers in the ecosystem for a
Okay.
while. And a lot of people would say, oh, you should not take less than this, you should not take less than this. It's always truly about the company, and it's always truly
Yes.
about you yourself as a designer or as a developer also. I mean, I know people that when they started their tech career, they were collecting 5K per month, and now they work for. I'm telling you, that's under employment.
Minimum wage.
But I think there are times that people need to sacrifice something for another thing. Now, I'm not saying
Yes.
it's totally bad for a company to exploit you and charge you that less, but there are times that you would probably want to compare what you get in return. So I'm totally not in support of companies underpaying or undervaluing developers. But what I'm saying is, as a developer yourself, or as a budding developer, or as somebody looking for internship, you need to really keep looking out for more and better opportunities out there. So if you see a company that's paying you lesser than you think you deserve, and you accept, you could accept it because you want the experience. But what I would advise is, immediately you accept it, still start looking for somewhere else also. So maybe when you accept today now, and in 3 weeks' time, you tell them, oh, I'm sorry, I found a better offer, I'm going there. So it's about, okay, should we increase this guy's salary or this lady's salary? Something like that. So I think it's time we also step up our games also. Okay. All right, so let me check if I have. Somebody asks, is it advisable to opt in for a non-paid internship as a junior dev for experience? Yeah, I think we just said about this. We just talked about this right now. So
Yes.
it all depends on you.
My internship was 6 months.
What is it? You did what? Internship for 6 months?
My internship was 6 months. It was 6 months with Google.
Okay. Well, that's.
Yeah, so it was 6 months. So I think that's fair. I learned a lot. I won't deny that. I learned like a whole lot. So internship is good, to be honest. Like or junior, or just like sometimes you don't have to look for the, like you are just starting out. I would say to be fair, if you're just starting out, like don't focus on, like, money is important, but don't focus on the money alone, because if you focus on the money alone, like you might have lost your knowledge, basically. So like, trust me, the money will come, and that one I'm very sure of that. The money will come, but when you are starting out, and I didn't say you should go and work for people that will exploit you. Some people can exploit. That they want you to build like a lot of things at a time for like small fee or something like that. So yeah, there's people like that. So don't work for people like that. So just work like where you can learn. You can learn with good salary too. Like that's not bad. But once you feel like, okay, fine, you need to move on, then yes, you can move on. But the most important, when you're starting, look for where you can learn.
When you said that the money will come, I just do give you away for boys, yeah. Like,
No.
Okay, so let me see.
I still wait for.
Okay, somebody said, what is the current framework that makes you employable or popular? Okay, I don't know if you want to go, but what I have to say about that one is, I don't know if you are looking at being popular or being employable. I think those two are really, really two different things. I mean, yeah. So let's flame you take that.
To be honest, like for me, like I'm more of a view person, but when I check the market, like what people like employ most for is React. So it depends. Like, but what I've noticed, one thing I've noticed, like most employers look for React devs, and I think it's the Facebook effect, because React and Vue basically do the same thing. I mean, like I'm a Vue fan. I used to advise people to go for React because that's what like the market is always after, basically.
All right, so yeah, do you need a CS degree to be a front-end developer? Hell no, you don't need any degree.
No, you don't need a CS degree. Just be good.
Of course, you don't need any degree. Okay, all right. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit short, but anybody can just drop their big tag on the group channel now. We still have more questions, but I mean, it just looks as if it's a good time right now, and Troja will be happy. So you can drop your big tag and let me just. I'm waiting. If you are on a beg, drop your big tag right now. Okay, let me see. I'm seeing one. Okay, the first person was Beard Prince. Bearded Prince.
So people sent sorry for cutting you. So people sent a private message. Please, can you send your message to the channel itself so that Hack Sultan can see it?
Okay. I mean, I think it's easier. Sending to the small names. So I saw one that is like names now. Wombs. Okay, sorry. All right. Oh, Beerling, I helped you test on your big account already. So okay, I can't see Wombs here. WUMZ. Okay, I can see it now. Okay, so yeah, that's I would probably check through later, but I think I've sent to two people now. All right, so our host from Ingressive. So this is okay. Can you please come on and just give a brief intro about Ingressive and the whole community part of Ingressive and Ingressive for Good? And we have 75 people here. Let them know about Ingressive, and we can still probably ask a few more questions from here.
Okay. Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sure they can, but they are on mute.
Okay, great. So like I said earlier, it's nice to meet you all. I'm so happy to be able to have this webinar series where everybody where you can clear up misconceptions about tech and some particular tech career paths. So Ingressive for Good is an NGO that we seek to formally train the African tech ecosystem, and we do this by micro scholarship, technical training, talent placements, and then the I4G circles. Now, I4G circles are communities in cities and campuses all over Africa, made up of young Africans like you, leveraging tech and using it to solve problems. So one way or the other, the world is, going into tech, and we want to be at the forefront, especially as Africans. And at the same time, we also want to make sure that we change the misconception that people have as Africans, and at the same time get to monetize your skills, not just learn, but make money. Yeah. So once again, it's so nice to meet you all. We have Telegram group for I4G Circle members. You can join our newsletter to get job opportunities, resources. We have partnerships with Coursera. Right now, you guys will be the first people hearing this, but we were able to secure another partnership with DataCamp, and we have about 750 licenses for people interested in studying data science for free. We have Facebook training coming up next week. We want to, get as much resources into Africa and as much people to be able to learn and, build your skills and earn money. Yeah. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you very much. So Ingressive for Good is just trying to push things forward and help the whole ecosystem. And they have a lot of crazy, amazing programs coming up. And yeah, you heard about the licenses with Coursera. Coursera is a very good platform to learn, which I would really, really recommend. And yeah, they have like the whole community. So now let's check out Ingressive for Good on Twitter and send them messages and co. Yeah, somebody asked if it's okay to build with mobile phones. Okay, so I would let our chief Flames answer this, then I would also give you like it's 1 minute talk on it also. So all right, Flames, what do you say?
So and for mobile phones, like if you are just learning, like okay, I think that's fine, but it has its limitations. Like there are some things you want, like you want to do, and doing mobile phone might be really stressful. So you can start with mobile phone. Like if you've not started like coding at all, you can start learning with mobile phone. Then our advice to get a laptop, building anything complex with a mobile phone.
Okay. All right. So yeah, thank you very much for that. I think you pretty much covered everything. I've been sending 500 now to everybody that I've noticed their big tag here, Shao. But I think I'll still send to one more person actually, Shao. I think I've sent to 3 people now. Okay. All right. All right. So about learning with your mobile phone, yeah, it's pretty much good. It's pretty much good, and it's amazing. I mean, it's kind of easy. You can be in the bus, you can be on the bike. Where your laptop can't be with you, your phone will be there with you, and you can easily learn on the go. But there are to every upside with something like that, there's always a downside. And let's try and if you are listening to me now, let's just pause. Well, how can you join the dev community? Just join the dev community. That's social. So if you are putting, let's pause the chat a little bit and let's just have a. This time, let's look at it from the whole African perspective and not just an individual perspective. So it's like this now. You see tons of apps coming out there, encourage you to learn on mobile phone. You see tons of free services, Solo Learn and Co. that would teach you how to code on mobile phone. But then the more these free services are coming out for we here in Nigeria and Africa in general, that's how you see that the whole table for becoming employable in tech keeps going up. I mean, previously 3, 4, 5 years ago, all you need to just need is HTML and CSS, no JavaScript, you get a junior level role before. But now companies will require more of you. So it's looking as if the knowledge you are able to accumulate learning on just your mobile phone at the particular point in the future, very soon, those particular knowledge would not be enough for you to be employed any longer. And that's because you will now see services that are able to do everything you think you've learned for over the course of 1 year or 1.5 years on a mobile phone in a click of a button. I mean, there is now Webflow, there is now other services like Webflow out there. So if you've spent a lot of time learning on your mobile phone, you've not actually learned to scale and you've not learned to actually leave that particular bridge. When it's time for you to actually get employable, I mean, and the employers will look at it that, I mean, everything you think you can build, it's something I could just do with a click on Webflow, and that's like your whole experience out there on Webflow. Webflow won't be fine again. So I would say if you have the chance to actually learn on a PC, you should please learn on the PC. I see no use of you having iPhone X when you claim you're learning on a PC. If you can't use that to actually get a laptop. It might take a while, but you'll probably buy more of iPhone X later. Now, this is not me giving you aspire post or social. iPhone is good and expensive phones are good. But then it's like a matter of priority at the particular, and it's easier if you learn with the right resources that would allow you, or should I say enable you, go out there and get jobs. So if you are going to a company to apply and they're giving you a live coding test, you won't bring out your phone to start solving there if they're giving you a PC. You understand? So get a PC if you can. It's not just coding alone, it's not just about, should I say, knowing how to code also. It's about getting familiar with the hardware you are using also. I mean, there are courses that teaches you just VS Code shortcuts alone. One of them was written by James Quick, which is a very good friend of mine. He's an author on Udemy. So yeah, I could even share this course with the free coupon code with some people here later on. You just reach out to me later. So it's about getting familiar with your hardware, and I'm telling you, the more you get used to your hardware, the keyboard usage, the shorter time, the more you save time when it comes to development. I mean, shortcut alone can save you, let's say, 30% of the time it takes, because instead of you having to move your mouse from the keyboard, you could just always use your command tab to switch tabs and refresh with command out. Things like that helps you develop your learning faster, helps you save time. And before you know, 3 seconds, 2 seconds like that, when you accumulate them together, those are using a shortcut or using a keyboard. So I think it's now for you to determine if you don't have a PC and you can't get one, it's good learning on your mobile phone. It's really good. But if there is a chance that you can get one, or if there's a chance that your mobile phone is worth a PC, because there are mobile phones that are worth 2 PCs, so a PC, then I would really advise you actually go forward and get a PC. All right, so I think I would want using Mark. From please type your Twitter handle in the comment section, or should I say in the chat section? Sorry, please type your Twitter handle so people can reach out to you and ask questions. So when you ask questions, please also tag the host and the Twitter handle for Ingressive for Good. So when you ask questions about this particular channel, just tag Flames and tag Ingressive for Good, and I'm sure Flames would be really glad to reply your questions. So you can ask tons of questions. I promise you, in the next 48 hours, it will call him. I will call him on the phone. I must reply.
No problem. But please ask for the TL, not the DMO.
Not
like
DM,
on the TL.
not DM. It's just ask them, because if you ask on the timeline, others can see the questions also, and they can also learn from the answers. I mean, what I've learned is I wrote a recent article on web monetization, and I had over 40 or 50 comments asking questions. Ask questions because whenever they want to ask, I've probably answered it already in the comment section. So I get it. So I think it's easier if you ask questions in the comment section, so other people can also learn from the answers also. But please, when you're asking your questions, tag Ingressive for Good and tag Flames also. Thank you very much. So let our Ingressive for Good hosts give us the final talk. But before then, Flames, please give us one last aspire to perspire. You know all those things now. Just give us something like that.
Guys, like, thanks for coming. Like, I really appreciate. So
it's not guys, it's everyone, or it's guys and ladies.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. So everyone, thanks for coming. I really appreciate this. And so what I'll just say is, like, just strive to be the best in whatever you do, back end, front end, especially front end, and you'll be the best. Yeah. So basically, yeah, just try to be the best. Basically. Thank you.
Telling me guys is unisex. I don't think. Let me confirm that right now. If guys is truly unisex, I don't want to allow for my small life. But then I think everyone is what we agreed to be using. So give me a few. Okay, yeah, guy. I just searched guy now, and guy is a form of social organization in which a male. Sorry, that's not guy. Don't mind. So. Yeah, actually, so an informal term for a youth or man, guy. So guy is actually referring to me, it's not unisex. Thank you very much. It's not singlet. It's not unisex. All right, so please, our Ingressive for Good host, please kindly give us like a whole goodbye. People are already leaving now. We have 67 now. I think we're able to stay on 74 steady till the end of the program. So thank you very much for coming, please. Our Ingressive for Good host, kindly give us the end song. Is this song? Just do the honors. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm muting my mic.
All right. What do I say? Okay, so thank you for coming. This is just the beginning. In the next few months as well, we're going to try to get a few more people to come in to talk to us about other tech career paths, backend, full stack, data science, machine learning, AI, whatever it is. So I hope this has been an amazing session, and one of the most important thing for us as well is to turn this into resources. So I myself and Oluwale, as well as Sultan as well, will be working closely together to try to make sure if there are going to be any resources that comes from this session. So probably an article, or a video, or easy question and answer to be able to make you understand if you appreciate front end as a career path. So once again, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And if this session was if you learned a thing or two, please tag us on Twitter at Ingressive for Good, tag Mr. Flames, and let us know how well we did. If you have any questions, please ask the questions on Twitter. And yeah, just like Sultan said, he's going to make sure that he responds. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a nice day all.